What should you do when you get hiccups? There's a profound wisdom in this answer. We're taught to get rid of them, right? We hold our breaths, we count to 10, we drink water, plug our nose, jumping jacks, stand upside down, all kinds of weird things to get rid of the hiccups. And we do the same thing for fevers. We don't hold our breath for fevers, but we get rid of them. We take a Tylenol. I've had debates with medical professionals about this too, that they're taught to take Tylenol to get rid of the fever. We do the same thing with headaches. We take Tylenol, we do something to get rid of them. So what does this have to do with hiccups? Why am I mentioning all this, right? There's a profound wisdom in hiccups, in fevers, in headaches. And the point I'm trying to make is there's a profound wisdom in the pressure, the anxiety that you feel all the time. So we're taught to get rid of these things. But what if these things, the hiccup, has a wisdom to it? What if there's a reason behind it? What if the intelligence of our body knows better than we do? And we should allow the hiccups. We should lean into them and wonder, what's this trying to tell me? Do I need to breathe deeper? Do I need to just relax and let it happen because my body knows what to do here? Same thing with the fever. Relax into it. Drink some water. Take some rest. Take it as a message that your body knows best. Your body knows how to handle this situation and heal you. Because if we interrupt these things, it's our mind, it's our will trying to force an outcome and get what we want. Right? We want to skip all this nonsense. Get back to the way we were feeling. Well, I want to share, this is the same, has the same message with pressure. The pressure that you feel, the pressure to perform, the anxiety, the freezing up, the overthinking. It's the same thing. There is a higher intelligence behind your anxiety. There is a higher intelligence behind the pressure, that density that you feel in your body, that visceral feeling that you feel when you're under pressure. And what are we taught to do when we feel pressure? We go meditate, we go for a walk, we distract ourselves, we go eat something, whatever it is. It's not that those things are wrong, but it's ignoring the intelligence behind it. And I'm sharing this because I have a very real experience with this. Back in 2014 was my first world championship. I just started practicing memory techniques. I was in China for the world championship. It's a 3-day event. There's 10 disciplines over 3 days. It's a marathon. And there's 500 contestants in this grand ballroom. We're all sitting at our own desk. We all get our papers and the first event starts. We have 15 minutes to memorize as many names and faces on this paper as possible. For the entire 15 minutes, my heart pounded out of my chest. I had practiced this before in the quiet, but there was an intense psychological, emotional, mental pressure within me where I couldn't handle it. Like I couldn't focus. I almost got up and left a couple of times in that competition. I just couldn't handle it. There was so much pressure. And in those moments, we try to block out the voice in our head. We try to ignore it as best as we can. We try to bring our focus back into what we're doing, and that's what we're taught. But what if I told you that that's not the way through it? Because for the next 10 years almost, I tried everything to handle this pressure. Because many of you know I'm a 3-time USA Memory Champion and a Grandmaster of Memory. But what you don't know is the harder part of that journey was handling the pressure, the stress, the anxiety. Not even in a competition, but throughout life. Because I'm building a business, businesses, and I'm waking up with dread. I'm waking up feeling overwhelmed many, many days. And I tried all this stuff to handle it. I tried to stop the hiccups. Because when you wake up with that density in your body, that dread, Now your mind starts to ruminate. You will do anything to avoid that feeling. It's awful. It's highly uncomfortable. So I try all the mental tactics, Make sure you're organized and focused on one thing at a time. Okay, great. Why don't you go meditate and relax? Okay, great. Why don't you try this mindset? Why don't you reframe this and feel gratitude instead? Don't feel the anxiety. Try to focus on something you're grateful for. Why don't you try hypnosis, supplements, all this stuff? I tried it all. All of it made it worse because I was ignoring the hiccups. I was trying to try to stop the hiccups from happening. Well, the hiccups, this pressure, this anxiety keeps coming back because it's not a mental issue. It's an emotional root issue that's coming up. And the more we push it away or ignore it, the more it ramps up and comes back. 10 years later, after that first world championship and that pressure, and years of anxiety, panic attacks, fast forward to last year. Last year I was in China. Again, there's a theme here. China and hiccups. Who knew that's what you were going to listen to today? I was in front of 400 million people on the show Superbrain in China. Not only was I in front of 400 million people, which is insane, still blows my mind. I was going up against a former world record holder. We each had to memorize 100 different random items, like a Rubik's Cube and a picture and a glass of water. Each item was put in a different locker. There are 100 lockers in front of me, 1 to 100. They put these items randomly in each locker. Shut the door. I had to memorize what item went in what locker number, and that's the easy part. Because then the judges punched in a 4-digit code at random on the spot to lock each locker. 100 items, 100 lockers, 100 4-digit codes in front of 400 million people. So I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about pressure, handling pressure. What was the difference in me almost walking out 10 years earlier to just sitting down at a desk doing a basic test, to being able to handle the stress, the pressure, the voltage, the adrenaline of being in front of 400 million people? It wasn't just experience. What changed was my approach to the hiccups. So instead of blocking out the pressure, instead of trying to get rid of the hiccups and do all this fancy stuff or suppress it, I let it happen. Because I had gotten to the point in the middle of that journey where I was having panic attacks almost daily. Actually, at one point it was daily. It was awful. I was so overwhelmed, had so much anxiety, so much dread, so much buildup, so much tension in my body that at one point I just surrendered to it. I said, you know what? I'm trying all this mental stuff, all these meditations and relaxations and all this good stuff, by the way. It's all good. But in the moment you're having the hiccup, in the moment you're feeling the anxiety, that's the worst thing you can do for it. You're ignoring it. There is a profound wisdom. There's a profound intelligence in what's happening. So instead of trying to ignore it or push it away, we need to lean into it. And that's what I started doing. There is a wisdom in the hiccup. It's telling you something. The fever is doing something. Your body has a supreme intelligence to it. Same thing with the pressure. Whatever negative emotion or apathy or dread that you were feeling has a supreme intelligence to it. So I took the approach of every single time I felt this uncomfortable voltage, density, energy in my body, which we label as anxiety or pressure, I fully felt it. Fully felt it. I was with it. I let it happen. I didn't restrict it as best as I could. It was extremely hard. And that's basically how I overcame it. There's a little bit more to the story. But for the most part, I leaned into it. I let it wash over me. I let it do what it needed to do. Because these were all suppressed parts of me. These are all parts that I had suppressed over the years. The hiccups have a wisdom. The pressure has a wisdom. All of it has a wisdom if we get out of the way. And so for those of you listening who have intense pressure, you're probably someone who's in a position where you lead people, where people count on you. You're a parent, you're a coach, you're a mentor, you're a guide, a business owner. If you want to learn more about this, send me a message or comment on this video wherever I post it. Because I think I'll probably put it on YouTube, Facebook, a couple other places. But send me a comment, let me know, and I will send you some videos or resources that I have made that goes deeper into this topic. Because some of you will resonate with this, and some of you will say, no, I'm still going to hold my breath for a hiccup. I'm still going to take Tylenol for a fever and a headache, and I got better stuff to do. I don't have time for this. I want to block out the pressure. That's cool too. But if you're listening to this and like, this is the most profound thing you've heard in a while, it's because it's true. It's because it's what you've needed to hear. And so send me a message, send me a comment, say I'm interested in learning more about this, John, and I will, I'll help you out. So don't block those hiccups. No more holding your breath. You got this.